Hey guys, Tomboy601, and welcome to what can only be called Part 2 of Patch Notes Revenge of the Carriers, I guess? If you didn't know, in the most recent update, there was a bit of, a tease for some carrier changes that would be coming during the update, and they released it one day later than the actual patch notes, so we're going to go over all of the changes that are in these patch notes. Enjoy my really poor Lexington play in the background as we go over these changes. So first things first, one thing that they did go ahead and list is some terminology that they use in order to help balance things. So the first is average damage. That is a measurement of how much damage a ship does on average in each battle. Typically, a carrier is designed to have the least potential damage per minute out of any type of ship. Cool. Second is win rate. This represents the percentage of wins versus losses and draws that a ship has on average. The usual win rate in Legends is 49.95%. It's less than 50% due to the small number of draws. Typically, they use this measurement to establish the need for a buff. A ship with a 46% win rate needs a buff more than a ship with a 49% win rate. The final kind of piece of info is battle impact. This is a measurement that represents the difference the ship itself makes on the player's win rate. If a player is helming a particular ship has a win rate of 50%, and that particular ship has a win rate of 55% amongst similarly skilled players, the ship has a 5% battle impact. Interesting. They call these the big three as they are the primary indicators for overall ship performance. They are not the only indicators though, since your perception about these ships is also valuable. Cool. So first things first, let's get into the tier 3s. Hermes! Since her introduction, Hermes has been lagging behind her peers in total damage dealt, which also affects the ship's win rate and battle impact. Hermes dishes out the damage equally with both weapons normally, so they have all been buffed. HE bomb damage going from 3200 to 3400. Torpedo damage increased from 5633 to 5833. Torpedo speed increased from 40 to 42 knots. Torpedo range increased from 2.4 to 3 kilometers. And the torps are now more likely to disable modules. Cool. Next is the Russian tier 3. We recognize that Soviet carriers are strong in very specific situations, but Kosmoltis is also lacking in damage output on average at every skill level. However, she's doing better than Hermes, so this buff only applies to the torpedoes. Torpedoes' new max damage is 4,133. Torpedo arming time decreased from 6 to 4.5 seconds, so that orange indicator before you drop is now smaller. The speed of the torps is going from 41 to 43 knots, and those torpedoes are also more likely to disable modules. That's all the changes to tier 3. I'm sorry to those people down at tier 3 who don't have AA who are going to have to deal with those. Next up, tier 5, Wesser. There's no two ways about it. Wesser is one of the best carriers at tier 5. So it's getting a nerf, mainly in its AP bomb. So stock AP bombs going from 6,400 to 6,200, and its upgraded AP bomb damage going from 7,200 down to 7,000. So a small tweak downward for Wesser. Serov is an interesting ship indeed. Statistically speaking, she doesn't stand out in any major ways, but she certainly dominates the feedback channels. With that in mind, we are reducing the effectiveness of the skip bombers, particularly their fire setting chances and penetration. This will greatly reduce their impact against most tier 5 battleships and some carriers. So stock, the skip bomb fire chance is going from 35% to 25% chance to set fire, and then the pen on them, the HE penetration, is going from 32 millimeters of armor down to 25 millimeters of armor. Next up, Furious, my personal favorite carrier at the tier, well, other than Ark Royal, but we'll get to that. Furious, this sneak carrier goes under players' radars, but mostly it does incredibly well on average in every category at every skill level. We're going to bring down her a notch by nerfing the carpet bombs. So HE bomb damage is going from 5,000 down to 4,750. And then the upgraded HE bomb damage is going from 5,250 down to the stock of 5,000. So a small tweak downward for here. Next up, 2 buffs. Zuiho, the first permanent aircraft carrier. Her dive bomber hangar capacity is being increased from 10 to 12 planes. That's fine. And HE bomb damage is being increased from 9,400 to 10,400. I wish they would just give her back her concealment. That was her whole thing, is she's like supposed to be the stealthiest aircraft carrier. And then we had the concealment kind of rework. I wish she would end up getting the original carrier concealment, and that would be her whole shtick. But alas, here we are. Next, Ranger. She is at the bottom of the tier 5 carriers right now. So her stock torpedo damage is being increased from 6,033 to 6,367. Her upgraded torp damage is going from 6,400 to 6,600. The arming time is being decreased from 3.6 seconds to 3 seconds. The speed on the torps is going from 47 to 49 knots, and the torpedoes are more likely to disable modules. Next, Ark Royal. Nothing is happening with her. I know, it's crazy. It sounds like probably next update is when she will receive the Nerf Hammer. Tier 7, August Von Parcel. We're on to the Tier 7s, and there's some interesting changes up here at Tier 7. First, AVP bomb damage, much like the Wesser, just the AP bomb damage is being decreased. The upgraded bombs are going from 7,200 down to 7,000. There's also a nerf for the stock AP bombs, but they're basically adjusting down by about 200 damage for those bombs. Next is Saipan. They nerfed her once, and they still need to nerf her further. So HE bomb damage is going down from 9,500 to 9,200. Torp arming distance is being increased from 3 to 3.5 seconds, and the speed of the torps is being decreased from 48 to 46 knots. Next up, Pobeda. Pobeda is a situation where she doesn't stand out in the data, but is greatly disliked in the feedback. We've made a balanced pass on her skip bombs to make them do more direct damage, though less regularly with fewer fires. So here we go. Stock skip bombs damage increase from 6,800 to 7,500. Stock skip bomb fire setting chances decreased from 39 to 25%. Upgraded skip bomb damage has been increased from 8,700 to 9,600, while those bombs fire chance have been reduced from 49 to 33%, and then the HE pen of those those bombs has been decreased from 43 to 33 millimeters of armor. Finally, the last ship getting touched is Kaga. She's definitely been kind of left behind, so she has a ton of buffs. Dive bomber HP is increased from 2,050 to 2,250. Torpedo bomber HP has been increased from 2,100 to 2,250. Of course, Kaga, known for her paper mache planes. This all makes sense. Then HE bomb damage has been increased from 9,000 to 9,500. Torp damage increased from 6,300 to 6,600. Torpedo arming time decreased from 6 seconds to 5 seconds. And then the torpedoes are more likely to disable modules. So those are all of the changes to aircraft carriers. And I will say, I think some of them are well deserved. I'm surprised we still haven't gotten an Ark Royal nerf. That is my crazy one. But alas, this is where we are at. So guys, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. I feel like we all know Ark Royal, she needs some work. But beyond that, guys, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.